Hello, today I'm going to be reviewing this Worm Factory composting bin. I got this just over 2 years ago when I moved into my house. I wanted to have a way that I could reduce my food waste, since my new area doesn't do recycling and they don't do any compost recycling. I figured I could do some at my own house. I have a compost tumbler. But I thought maybe this could help me because I could take the worm castings, put it in my garden, and it would be just taking things to the next level. I'll go over the pros and cons that I've learned about this along the way and share my own secret tips. So first of all, you could see this only has one level here. It's very simple to set up. The instructions are very obvious and very clear on how to use this. I'll open it up and you can see that there's not really anything in here. It's mostly grass clippings and some paper, some cardboard. What I found is that my area doesn't really sell the type of worms that are commonly used in this. So I went to just the local store and got some worms, and unfortunately they weren't the kind that like this, I guess, so they didn't last very long. It was very difficult for me to figure out the right mix of brown and green material to put in here, and so that is the thing. Green material is like food scraps, fruits and vegetables, and so I have a juicer and it spits out the pulp from like the skin and things like that, but it's very finely ground and stuff like that. So it's perfect for worms. And I figured if I'm going to be juicing a lot, I could give it to the worms. They can compost it pretty quickly. Unlike if I was just to peel a piece of fruit and put the entire skin in there, it's a lot more for them to manage because it's big chunks. This is already caught up from the juicer, and unfortunately, I couldn't get the ratio right, or the worms weren't right, or as you could tell, I'm in my garage, and maybe it was too hot because I started this in the summer. And so I never really was able to find good worms that could last long enough to get it off the ground. So I do have the other 3 bins here, so I have a lot of room here to grow, and then it comes with everything you need. So it has like all of the core and all the dirt and all that stuff. So there's a lot of stuff in here. I definitely have room to grow. I just have yet to find worms and take it up. And then I went and had to travel for work too much. So for me, this didn't quite work out. But it's pretty nice that it stacks because it can easily fit in one single floor space. What I typically do is I have a shelf here, and this just lives right there. It's very out of the way, and so it could just not take up any extra space. And then with these, I just put them on top of the shelf. I have a little spot there. So unfortunately, that is probably the biggest tip that I would say is setting this up is extremely easy. When you get it to work, it's going to be great. Make sure you have the room. But before you get it, make sure that you find a place to get worms. There's a website on here that on the product that tells you where to get worms, and it doesn't seem like it's updated very often. And so there were no suppliers on the website in my area. So find out where you can get worms before you get this. But as I understand, once you have the worms, this is very self-sufficient and it just works. So that's unfortunately all I could say about this. I still have hope to try and find some worms someday and get it going again, because once you do, it's very easy to do because it's so light. It's so light and easy to just walk out, lift the lid, toss stuff in, and then you're done. So it's a very easy self-sustaining system, and what you get out of it when it's done is the best stuff to put in your garden. So I definitely recommend it to anyone who has a garden and doesn't have composting in the area and who wants to be more environmentally friendly. So I hope this was helpful, and thank you for watching.